A 24-year-old girl was born to my mom, 40, as a teenager because her parents wouldn't allow her to get an abortion. I get it. I was never wanted by her, but still, she worked hard to give me all that I had. I'm not trying to take any of that away from her, but I got broken toys to play with until I was 10. I had a teddy that my mom got for me from a dollar store, and it hurt seeing all my friends have good food while I barely got a sandwich. Anyway, when I went off to college, my mom got mad at me for choosing the military program that my father arranged for me to get into. She really stopped messaging me until my graduation and advancement into the army. Turns out, she married her boyfriend and they had a kid. They have another one on the way now. I won't lie that she's really tried to make things up with me, but I live far away now and a phone call a day is all we can do. But it's also all I want to do. Following my mom on Instagram and Facebook, I just haven't felt anything but resentment toward my mom for not telling me. All over are pictures of her and her new family, and it's like there's no trace of me anywhere. There's a private video of her on her husband's YouTube of them doing a house walkthrough. It was sent to me by a cousin on a family chat. I'm not in after renovations, and there's nothing of me in that house. Even my old room has changed with all my old stuff just gone or in storage somewhere. You'd never be able to tell that I lived there. Then there's the fact that this new girl is getting all that I couldn't as a kid, and I know she is because she can, and that it shouldn't bother me, but it does. Cut to yesterday, my mom phoned me and asked me when I was coming back home to be with family. I pointed out that her house hasn't been my home for 6 years and I'd be staying on base with my father. She pointed out that I hadn't even met my sister yet, and I asked why she would even want me to when she erased all sign of me so that she could have a do-over family. That made her really upset, and she started crying badly before ending the call. I told my fiancé about it because I was feeling like shit about making my mom cry, and he told me that it was an asshole-ish move since my mom has been trying to reach out to me. My father told me to just be grateful that my mother was able to provide and not worry about her new kids. I'm thinking that they're right, and I should just say sorry. Edit. Because people are getting confused and think I moved out, I want to clarify this. I didn't. I wanted to commute from home to school, but my mom cut me out and kicked me out because I was joining the military. I had no contact with her for 4 years. Only after I graduated and actually joined the Army did she resume contact. I've only met her in person once in 6 years, and that was to introduce her to my boyfriend, now fiancé. She didn't come to our engagement party even though I did send her an invite. I talk to her semi-regularly on the phone. FaceTime, but it's not the same as a real conversation. I don't blame my mom for wanting an abortion. It makes me hate my grandparents, who are dead, that they used me to ruin my mom's life, and that she would have had a good life if I wasn't born. Yes, I do know that my birth wasn't wanted, but I absolutely do not blame her. Getting a bit tired of these edits, but I understand I need to clarify things. My father joined the Army and was overseas in Eastern Europe. He was not in my life until I was a teenager, but he always sent us cash. Yes, I was inspired by him to join the Army, and I am still angry at him for not being in my life. It's weird, I know, but he has apologized to me a lot. He has helped me a lot since I turned 18, and we've been working through our issues. To everyone saying go to therapy, I regularly see the therapist at the base. Next update, my mom cut me off because I joined the Army and now wants to join my wedding planning. When I was 18 and went to college, my father got me into a military program, and my mom cut me off because of it. My mom cut me off, and there was no contact during college. After I grabbed and joined the Army, we started talking again. But I only actually met her in person once, and it was a trip where she met my then boyfriend, who I'm now marrying. I invited her to my engagement party, but she didn't come, and all we did was talk on FaceTime for about half an hour. It didn't bother me then, but it really does snow. I'm getting married next year, and 2 days ago my mom called me and asked when I was coming home to be with my family. Her saying that made me lose it for some reason, and I told her that her home was no longer mine, that I was staying with my father and she had her do-over family, and that led to her crying before hanging up. Her crying really made me feel like absolute shit. My fiancé told me to forgive her, as she seems to want to patch up, and my father told me to be grateful for all that she did. Yesterday, my cousin, 28, called about wedding planning. She's going to be my maid of honor, and her 4-year-old daughter will be my flower girl. I'm only having one. I was going to meet my cousin and niece next week for wedding planning. Turns out my mom called my cousin earlier and learned she was flying over for the planning, so the call was an apology and a courtesy that my mom's gonna phone again. And she did like minutes after I said bye to my cousin, and she was begging me to let her fly out with cousin and niece. She told me she knew that she'd hurt me and wanted to make it better, and thinks this might be the best chance we have since I'll be having my own family after marriage. I told her I needed to think about it. I barely slept last night, and the one dream I did have was a shitty one about Marin and Siri from Hyperion. Hell, I'm literally posting this while working so clearly my mind isn't on that either. I just don't know if I'm wrong or if she's wrong, if we're both wrong or what. Next update. The day after I posted, I FaceTimed my mom so that we could talk. Before we even got to talk, my little sister came and grabbed the phone and tossed it. So, had to FaceTime back the day after. When my mom asked if she could come with my cousin and niece, I told her straight up I didn't want her coming with my cousin. It made me feel bad because I could tell my mom was upset, but trying to hide how upset she was. She asked if we could meet at all before the wedding week, and I felt really guilty, so I said I had time off the weekend of the 14th. She said she didn't want to leave her family all alone since her husband has a business getaway at that time, but I said that's the only time I had to give so she could choose to come and let me know or stay home. She said she'd think about it, and she'd also let my cousin take whatever pictures of me I wanted. Well, my cousin and niece came for wedding planning, and holy shit, she brought albums and portraits and everything. My cousin admitted that she brought most of it since my mom still didn't put anything up. Even the portrait of me in uniform. Honestly, I cried in my cousin's arms for like half an hour because of that. I only laughed when her daughter pointed out how silly I looked crying because I'm a soldier. I was still in uniform. We spent that entire day making the slideshow and choosing which photos to have on display. The rest I put in storage where they'll stay till my place is ready. Honestly, the rest of the week went by great, and we barely talked about my mom. The one time we did, my cousin pointed out my mom did want my sister to be a flower girl, but was never going to ask since she was ashamed that I didn't even know her. After my cousin left, mom phoned and said she'd be able to come this upcoming weekend. So tomorrow, because her husband's getaway got canceled, because of you know what. I'm feeling nervous, scared, excited, and even angry. I've talked about this mostly with my fiance and my therapist on base, but since I posted here, I guess I'd see what advice you guys have to give me as well for when I meet her. So yeah, that's where it is now. Not better, not worse, and well, I don't know. Update. Confronted my mom on why she cut me out for joining the army. So I did joke about meeting my mom in uniform, but I ended up working late. And was in uniform that day, Friday. And ended up having to go like that anyway. I don't know. I tried to remember what my therapist said and what you guys wrote, but it's like the moment I saw my mom sitting at the restaurant table, all of it just disappeared. I didn't push her back when she hugged me. Honestly, I hugged her so tight like we used to before I left, and that's all I could remember. We ordered food, but we barely ate, but whenever I wanted to yell, I stuffed it in my mouth. Like the first thing I said when we sat down was I just bluntly asked why she hated me joining the military so much that she just cut me out and acted like I didn't exist. My mom kind of blanched or something and used ordering as an excuse not to answer, so I asked again and put in that if she was so scared I'd die, she should have spent more time with me. And she told me her uncle fought in the Persian Gulf War when she was a kid. And when he came back, he abused her, and it was like the uncle she loved died while her parents did nothing to stop him. So my dad and then me joining was like a betrayal, because she got it so wrapped up in her head that there was so much death that one way or another we'd die. I wanted to cry at that point, so I just stuffed more food in my mouth, and when I could talk, I just told my mom, I fucking hate her parents for what they did to us, and it feels like she doesn't love me anymore. She said she does love me, and I'm still her baby, and I said if that was true, she would have at least put up pictures of me in the house. Like I said, that was my home, and I thought I'd inherit it like she did, but it's clearly not mine anymore and won't ever be again since she has a new family I've never met. Like, I pointed to her pregnant belly and was like, that's the closest I've been to your new life. And then I used the do-over line again and said, it's like her new family is her trying to do it right because she got it wrong with me that I became a soldier, and it's like she hates me. Honestly, if tears and water weren't running down my face and out the nose, then she was going to cry. Like I asked, why wasn't I good enough to invite to her wedding? To ask to help with her pregnancy? To freaking give the house new paint? Other people were looking then, and I guess I felt embarrassed and I just said that I wanted to go. My mom asked me to go up to her room so we could keep talking, and I didn't want to drive. I didn't feel like I could, so I agreed. So in her room, we sat down on the bed, and I just broke down, and I don't really remember what I said, but Some things I can remember. I missed you so much and you replaced me, and you didn't even come see me get engaged, and I spent so many days wishing we could just cuddle, but you didn't even phone. And I don't know. I became a sobbing, hyperventilating mess with a headache. My superior officers would have loved to see that. And my mom just made me drink water and then lay my head down in her lap and rubbed my head because I kept crying. And I cried until I fell asleep on her lap. I woke up hours later, like into the night, and my mom was still awake, just singing my childhood Macedonian lullaby to me and running her hand through my hair. She'd shifted me onto a pillow. I don't know. I just pretended to still be asleep because I liked that, and of course, I fell asleep again. When I woke up in the morning, I don't know, I was just hugging her, cuddling like we used to. It felt so good, but it made me so mad and sad at the same time. So, of course, I got tears again. I swear I cry way too much. I just wanted to enjoy it, I guess. So we stayed like that till she told me she knew I was awake. So that day, Saturday went better. I don't know, we didn't talk about Friday at all and just spent it all together from breakfast to dinner just talking about stuff. And I won't lie, it felt good, like she was really my mom again. After dinner, we went back to her room and she asked if I wanted to talk again, and I said we needed to, and I'd try my best not to cry. Well, we talked, and my mom admitted she was wrong to cut me off and she wished she never did. She said it was a mistake not to involve me in her wedding or pregnancy and thought she was punishing me and knows now she really hurt me and can't make it up to me. And about the pictures, she admitted that even though we were talking again, she didn't put them up because it was too triggering. For my engagement, she said she didn't come because my sister wasn't medically cleared to fly after an ear infection and she didn't want to leave her. Thankfully, I didn't cry, so I asked why she asked me to go home. And she said she realized once I got married and had my own kids, there'd be no way we'd be close again. And she didn't want that, which is exactly what I thought it was. I said, I don't know if I can ever forgive her. I don't know. I didn't really say anything. After that, I didn't know what to say. I didn't feel mad or sad. I just felt empty. Like so much could have been avoided if we just talked. Like just reading this, I feel the same way, and I keep listening to a Lon R song. And that doesn't make me feel better, but it's letting me write. I thought about leaving, but I stayed, brushed, and went to sleep hugging my mom, because I don't know if I'll ever get to again. I dropped her off at the airport the morning after Sunday, but we didn't really talk, just said our byes. I don't know what to think or say about what she said. I just feel so cold about it. I've been trying to talk about it with my therapist, but with the wedding less than a month away, I don't know. I keep talking about that instead. As for why I'm updating, maybe because you guys have been so supportive of me so far, I figured I'd hear what you have to say about all of this, and if you guys have any more advice to give, update. But before you guys read this post, I just want to say that this is probably my last post here, and I want to thank everybody who has commented on my past posts, everybody who has said nice things, and I want to thank the people on this subreddit in particular for being so helpful. You might not see me again after this post, but I just want you to know that you really helped me. Abstract. Got into therapy with my mom. She gave me some very unique wedding presents. I got married. And things have been downright weird. Infuriating. But I think that they have been getting better between us. Post. Well, first thing is that I did end up actually talking to my therapist about meeting my mom and how cold I felt afterwards. The first thing my therapist asked is, was there anything I did like about her visit? And I admitted I liked how, when I had my breakdown, how she calmed me down, got me to sleep, ended up cuddling with me, and how the Saturday we spent together was just like it used to be and how it felt. Like I got my mom back for a day and not whoever she is now. I got asked if there was anything I felt beyond the coldness. And I admitted I hated my grandparents more than before now, because they let my mom's uncle abuse her. And going by when the Persian Gulf War ended, she would have been only like 10 or 11 when that started. Then I got asked if I was just trying to blame my grandparents instead of my mom, and I admitted I don't know. We kind of just focused on why I feel so protective of my mom after everything. My therapist gave me a recommendation for a psychologist specializing in trauma to conduct virtual sessions between my mom and I in addition to my individual ones if she was okay with it. I called my mom that night, and she agreed right away, said I was right, and she needed it to fix us. We only had 3 sessions together before my wedding, but we did resume after my honeymoon. I think that so far they have been overall productive, if not very rage-inducing and weird. Like sometimes I just want to punch a wall, but sometimes I really wish I could just hug my mom. Anyway, a week before my wedding, my mom flew in with her family, but She asked if I could spare an hour to meet with her alone. And I had time that night, so we met at one of those places that are open 24/7, like a local Denny's. When I hugged her, I don't know, it wasn't like the last time we met. It was different and warm because I knew this time I wasn't going to explode after it. My mom said she had a few gifts and she wasn't sure how much they would mean, but they were the best that she could give. She did tell me she had other typical wedding gifts to give, but that she felt she had to give these ones to me alone. The first gift was a really old book of lullabies in Macedonian, the ones that she would always sing to me. She said she brought it because I mentioned in one session that I'd be taking classes to learn Macedonian and wanted me to have it. So I'll be able to sing them to my kids whenever I have them. Like she was able to sing them to me. She said she wanted those lullabies to be special between us because they haven't worked on my sister and she's a TV hound. The second one meant the most to me and it's weird, but they were really old drafts of legal documents, stuff to get my name on her home so it'll be owned by only her and me. She said she was going to do it years ago as a reward if I didn't go to the army, but she should have done it anyway, and what I said about inheriting the house made her realize she couldn't take any more of it from me. She said when I get back from the honeymoon, we'd draft new documents for it, but if I don't want it like that, she would sell it to me when she and her family move out. They've been thinking about it, apparently. I said, we'll figure it out. There's a lot of legalisms we have to work through, obviously, but it is the gift I never knew I wanted. Like, yeah, when I was a teenager, I always thought whoever I married would move there with me and my mom, and eventually I'd get it from her, like she got it. But I never knew I wanted my name on that paper that says it's my home. Like, it might not look like it anymore, but I guess it makes it feel like I haven't been erased from it if it is mine. Honestly, my mom's been urging me to get the process on this started and to have a virtual meeting with lawyers for estate planning, but I'm too sick right now. Honestly, I might not even do it, but the fact that she's so willing is what matters to me. The last gift from my mom was a box of matches and pictures of my grandparents. Yeah, they were copies, because apparently my uncle wouldn't give her the originals, but she told me that she noticed in the few sessions that we'd had at that point how angry I'd get when she mentioned them. So she said she thought I might like if we destroyed them together. I really wanted to have like one of those moments where we go to the top of a building and throw down the burning pictures, but it wasn't anything like that. We just burned them outside, but I did like it. As for my wedding day, it went by perfectly. We didn't have an official military ceremony, but it was stylized by it. And while I don't want to give too much away in case I dox myself, I was able to wear part of my uniform and my dress at the same time. Yes, I made sure I was allowed to do it like that. My cousin looked so beautiful as my maid of honor, and her daughter was just so perfect. And I know shouldn't say it, but she is my sweetest niece. I couldn't imagine anybody else in those roles. And yeah, it went great, and the reception was great too. As for the therapy itself, I know I haven't talked about it that much, but I guess the reason that it has helped me a lot is because I feel I understand my mom a lot more and that she gets why her cutting me off hurt me so much. I don't want to get into it too much, but I also want to write about some parts. My own therapist actually recommended I talk to people on Reddit to get perspective and validation from strangers after I revealed that I'd posted, so I guess that's why I feel like being a bit open here. I will say I don't like it though when we focus on my mom's childhood just because it makes me angry. It fucking sucks to type, but my mom's abuse by her uncle was so bad that apparently she got pregnant at 13 but was beat so bad by my grandparents for it that she miscarried. Just thinking that makes me mad. Like, I wish these people were still alive so I could end them for what they did to her. They ruined us. They made my mom so hurt. They were so evil. Thinking about how my mom cries about that makes me want to fly to her just so I can hug her. The worst thing is, my mom admitted when I had my breakdown when she visited it, reminded her of how she would cry, and it finally hit her how much she hurt me and said she'd been feeling like she was as bad as her parents. She said she regretted trying to punish me by disincluding me because punishments teach lessons, not the hurt she caused me, and that she hated that it took her so long to realize it and didn't expect forgiveness. Like, my mind still keeps going back to my mom thinking she was as bad as her parents. As bad as cutting me off was. She isn't like that. They were monsters who should have burned. They ruined my mom's life like my mom and I could have been so much happier if they were good people. It sucks to type about all that stuff, but I feel like I needed to cause I'm just so angry and I just needed to get it all out there. And maybe that's why my therapist recommended it. We have started talking a lot about why my pictures were triggering for my mom. And she said it's because she got so wrapped up that the army was terrible because it morphed her best uncle into something evil. that she was convinced I'd die and my dad before me. And when they did the remodel, she put all the photos away because every time she looked at them, she couldn't help but imagine me dying in a terrible way, even though phoning me or FaceTiming me or seeing me was different. She told me that she hadn't put up any photos of mine yet, but I'm pretty sure that she's lying and hoping to surprise me for whenever I do go there because I know my cousin visited her, and she said that my mom put up my high school graduation portrait above the fireplace. Funnily enough, things do feel better for me when we focus on my childhood and why I hated being poor. Recently, we came to the conclusion that me hating being poor, and even at the time blaming my mom for it overall, wound up making me more protective of my mom, but also always wanting to be protected by her. Because we were never poor in the sense that we had each other. My own therapist has helped me understand that even though I was in university getting a good education, that I have a good job and great future, I've still felt poor because I don't have the thing that once mattered most. So in a way, my mom cutting me off was like throwing me into emotional poverty. And when she came over, the way I acted like cuddling, pretending to be asleep to enjoy the lullaby and hugging her to sleep, was just me reaching out for her protection again. I realized the reason why I felt cold was because I don't know if I can forgive my mom, and that could have been the last time I had any of that with her. I guess the last thing I want to mention from therapy is something we talked about last session, and I guess it's because I do want my own kids one day, and my mom's due to give birth soon. We wound up talking about how different it is for my mom raising my sister than me. And I know it's a bit messed up to say, but it felt good to hear my mom say that she and my sister don't have the bond that we had, and that I was a much better baby. And she's hoping that when he gives birth, the baby will be like I was. She said me saying do-over family hurt her because she never thought about it like that and hurts to think about. And she wants to deny it, but also feels that she can't. One thing I don't know what to think about is how my mom said that when she looks at my sister, she sees how much she looks like my grandma. But when she looks at me, she keeps thinking of me as the baby I was. It might be that wanting to protect me thing again, but her saying she felt like she was a better parent to me even though we had less felt off, like, I can't believe that. Based off all I've seen of my mom's new family, she honestly looks like a better mom. Maybe she doesn't feel it, but she looks it. My therapist suggested it might be a thing of my mom wanting to go back in time or still just being unused to having a husband to help out. I know what you're all wondering, and if I've forgiven her, and the truth is, I haven't. I appreciate the therapy, I love the gifts, but I still don't know if I can forgive my mom. Like, I finally forgave my dad just before my wedding. It took him 6 years to earn that. So I do hope I'll be able to reach a place where I can forgive my mom, and if things keep going the way that they are going, then I do believe that I will. It isn't going to be how it was when I was a teenager, but I guess it never is for anyone, really. But at least my mom and I are close enough again that if I ever need to cry and cuddle and my husband isn't around, then I think she'd be there for me. If you guys read to the bottom, then thank you. You guys have no idea how much these posts have meant to me.